Blog Talk Radio.
All right, all right. Thank you. Appreciate it, folks. You're listening to Baltimore's Talking Live. I'm your host, Dr. Q. Co-host is Green Bean Aaron Green. Right now, he's flying around on his paper airplane. When he falls out of the plane with the parachute, pops the parachute, and lands in his seat, we'll let you know. But in the meantime, because we had a holiday yesterday, and the people were calling in with all these excuses. Oh, I'm a little bit late. Oh, I'm a center substitute, or I don't know if I can make it. Everybody is pretty much calling one behind the other with their plans. And if it was a daylight show, it probably wouldn't matter. But by being a primetime show, people were pretty much having dinner, or they probably, if they did have dinner around 3, you were too tired 4 hours later to jump up and try to do the show. So we understand. So we decided to do a rerun of a previous episode, have that play out, and still get account for that episode. Now, because it was a repeat and it wasn't the live show, go ahead and bring on some of the topics from yesterday that did not get to do today. So hang in there. It's going to be quick, fast, and in a hurry. Part of what was the, like right now, a lot of people are still doing Black Friday shopping, because today is what they call Black Friday, or the day after Thanksgiving. For people who don't say Black Friday. So what we didn't have yesterday, we were talking about the celebrity gossip today, and yesterday we were talking about Thanksgiving love tips. So let's check the schedule, make sure we are where we are. Give you 2 of those Black History Minutes once we get around to probably just combine. It's always important to have some Black history knowledge. Because if we don't remember, Whitey probably won't even. It's of no interest to them, so why should they remember the right thing? Oh, and by the way, it's Family Fun Friday. Forgot to mention that. All right, so we got it. Love tips, it's unbelievable. Okay, got it. And I see what we get. I'm just going to pull 2 or 3 love tip questions that people are burning to ask and burning to know. This first one is interesting. It says, "Dear Dr. Q, why is it that when you're single, you can't find anybody for a relationship, and once you start talking to someone, you start to see everybody come out of the woodwork?" That's an interesting concept. I don't think it's everybody come out the woodwork. The people who have found someone around the same time. I call it multiplicity. I don't think it's looping back to you or just people looking for you. Most of the time, it has been my experience, most of the time when you do find somebody you're interested in, you find a comparison which is similar to the same person you're interested in. Take, for instance, a young woman who is in her prime, she's looking for a husband, she's looking for a king, she's looking to get pregnant. She finds that person. She starts talking to the person. Then someone else comes along saying they're looking for a queen. So now you have similar interests. And now you have to wonder, are those similar interests stronger or more prevalent than what you currently are in the talking phase? Now, don't mistake a talking phase for a commitment phase, because it's not. Same way you have a right to choose, he or she has a right to choose as well. And it's always been my experience to keep my options open. Not to cheat, but to keep your options open. Be upfront and honest. I'm in the process of talking to someone. So like I said again, talking to someone is not a commitment. It just lets you know that you have another interest. So the person who is currently talking with you now, or the new person, I should say, the interim, is the person you're currently talking to, and somebody new is interested. All you do is just simply say, well, talking to somebody, blah, 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 blah. And that's that. That's it. Phone lines are open. 917-889-8825. Again, that's 917-889-8825. Get us in Baltimore. It's Talking Live. Let me get to this next one here. Dear Dr. Q. Oh, wait. And to answer your question, it's just a coincidence that it seems like you find somebody when you are already in a relationship. But patience is a virtue. I would always say wait. Don't always jump on the first train that's smoking. Have something to compare it to. And when it comes to people who you have met in the past, all of a sudden you reconnect, always remember what it was that caused the disconnect. Because if it was there before, it's there right now. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. And that's my take on that. All right. Dear Dr. Q, is it okay for someone to break up with their current relationship of multiple years for an ex who they have been with for less time? Well, all I can say to something like that is, if you're in a relationship, and let's say it's been 5 or 6 years, in order for you to break up from that relationship, and it's not based on cheating, that for any relationship jump because of infidelity. Of a lack of interest, stagnation. It hasn't grown. The same way you were when you first met, you're the same way you are 3 years later, 4 years later, 5 years later. You're not grossing. Nothing is going further. So that's that. Let's squeeze in one more. Dear Dr. Q, Dear Dr. Q, Abuse comes in many forms, not just physical, but sometimes emotional and sometimes mental. This is not the first time I have been in a relationship like this. How can I avoid them? Well, to simply put it at its best way I can explain it, if you are in a relationship and it's abusive, you get out of that relationship, you get into another one, and you find that it's abusive. It's either abusive the same as the last one or more intense than the last one. Then there's something in you that the predator is seeking so that they can be abusive to you. So I would encourage you in a case like that, build up more self-esteem and more, like they say, self-love, because people are preying on whatever the deficiency or the weakness is, and that's why they come at you to beat you. All right. If you have any questions or comments, or any more questions or comments or discussions about love tips or love suggestions or love questions, relationship issues, whatever have you, call in at 917-889-8825. Again, that's 917-889-8825. And that'll be the call-in number. I was reading the next line here. I got distracted. Boy, oh boy. So let's check the schedule here, see where we are. All right. Let's jump on to the Black History Minute. See if we still got that. Matter of fact, let's try it that whole week. We did November the 18th already, of the church bombing. All right, November the 20th, Garrett Morgan invented 1923. November the 20th, 1865, Howard University was founded in Washington, D.C. November the 21st, Shaw University founded in Raleigh, North Carolina, 1865. 1865 was the year for a lot of the black colleges